Candler's marketing efforts and leadership make Coca-Cola's popularity go far beyond the border of Atlanta. There is only one limitation that is holding it back. It's only available at soda fountains. Customers have to visit pharmacy or soda fountains to enjoy the refreshing drinks, and it is a unique experience for the people but not convenient all the time. As the demand for refreshing drinks increases day by day, two entrepreneurs from Chattanooga, Tennessee, Benjamin F. Thomas and Joseph B. Whitehead, introduced the idea of bottling to Candler. Bottling refers to filling the beverage in bottles and distributing it to retailers and consumers. So they made a contract in 1899 through which they got bottling rights. F. Thomas, Joseph B. Whitehead, had got the contract for a nominal fee. However, he wants to just focus on selling syrup and its popularity instead of handling bottling logistics. He was happy just selling the syrup and didn't take the contract seriously. However, the contract was turned into an extremely valuable decision for the refreshing drink dock in 1894. The first bottling took place at Vicksburg, Mississippi, at Biedenharn Candy Company. Joseph Biedenharn installed the first bottling machinery for his soda fountains, so he became the first person to put refreshing drinks in bottles. In the early days, he used to sell the beverage in a common glass bottle, which is known as the Hutchinson. In 1899, Benjamin Thomas, Joseph Whitehead, and John Lupton developed a popular bottling system, which would be used worldwide. They traveled to Atlanta to negotiate the rights to bottle Coca-Cola. They wanted to capitalize on the popularity of the refreshing drink by bottling it. Also started subcontracting to other companies, turning themselves into huge companies, calling themselves parent bottlers. However, their contract of the product sets a fixed price of the drink, $5 each, with no end date. It is the main reason that Coca-Cola stayed at the same price from 1886 to 1959. The price remains fixed due to long-term contracts, inflation resistance, and marketing strategy. This contract was also geographical. Certain bottlers had a right to make and sell them in specific regions. Each bottler had to sell the beverage in assigned regions, which later affected the growth of the drink over time. The bottling company of the beverage started franchising the rights to bottle Coca-Cola across the United States in 1920. Over 1,200 bottling operations were set up to make and package the refreshing drink in bottles instead of just selling the syrup. These bottling plants were placed in different areas so that they could be more produced and sold locally, making it easier to reach more customers and expand the business globally. As sales were increasing day by day, both in bottles and fountains, competitors were trying to copy the formula of the beverage and its logo to deceive the public and hope to buy their drinks. The bottles used that day were simple, straight-sided, which were typically brown or transparent. Also, the bottling company made a rule through which every bottler is required to stamp the original logo of the beverage on every bottle. Competitor brands such as Coca-Cola, Ma Coca-Cola, and Coke copied or slightly changed the logo of the original one, which was written in a fancy style called Spencerian script. These competitors' bottles created confusion among the consumers, which affected the sale of the original beverage. However, the original brand started taking legal action against these copycats. But these cases took years to resolve, and bottlers kept asking the company for more protection. In 1906, the company introduced a diamond-shaped label with a colorful trademark to stand out from competitors and help bottlers. But Coca-Cola was made from barrels of ice-cold water, which made them fall off. And one of the competitors, Coca-Cola, again copied the same label to trick customers. So this idea failed to secure bottles, making the beverage unique. A helpful solution to this problem came across in 1912, when the bottling company sent a note to all its members that the Coca-Cola company had a different logo. It proved to be a fruitful solution, as they didn't have any other option to protect their business. They all agreed to join together and develop a distinctive package for their business. They start working with Harold Hirsch, the leading lawyer of the refreshing drink, to figure out how to create a unique bottle. He also encouraged other bottlers to collaborate and support the idea of a unique bottle design. In April 1915, the bottling company decided to spend up to $500 to create a different bottle. They asked 8 to 10 glass companies throughout the United States to create the special bottle, specifically instructing them to bottle so distinct that you would recognize it by feeling in the dark or lime broken on the ground. This simple but creative brief raised competition among the glass companies. In Terre Haute, Indiana, the Root Glass Company took the challenge and started working on the special design. The Root Glass team includes C.J. and William Root, Alexander Samuelson, Earl Dean, and Clyde Edwards. Samuelson, the supervisor of the company, who was from Sweden, he sent Dean and Edwards for the research of the possible design ideas from the local library. They found an image of a cocoa bean with different shapes and ribs, through which they inspired the bottle design. Dean carefully sketched that shape under the guidance of Samuelson, and they made a few samples of the design. Earl R. Dean was the main designer of the contour bottle. The Glass Root Company also filed a patent under the name Samuelson with the government to protect their new bottle design. This would give them legal rights to use and control the design, and prevent others from copying it. The patent was approved on the 16th of November 1915, and later, the date was added to the design. But later, Coca-Cola acquired full rights to the design to ensure smooth future operations. In early 1916, the officials of Coca-Cola and the group of bottlers met to select the best bottle design. The Root Glass Company's design was a clear winner. The beverage finally found its unique identity, the contour shape. Coca-Cola and the Root Glass Company agreed to have 6 glass companies across the United States that used that bottle shape. The bottles were colored German green, which was later known as Georgia green, in honor of the beverage's home state. The agreement also required the name of the city where the bottle was made to be marked on the bottom, which also entertained customers for many years. The bottle weighs 14.5 ounces and is filled with a refreshing drink of 6.5 ounces. So each bottle weighs more than a pound, even though the bottle was introduced and started production in early 1916. Not all bottlers switched to it. According to some of them, the glass bottles were the most expensive part of their business, and the solution was a national campaign that would change their minds. Coca-Cola started a national advertising campaign featuring the exclusive bottle. The first national calendar showed the bottle appeared in 1918 and 1920. When most of the bottlers were using it, in 1923, the patent for the bottle was renewed. The interesting thing is the patent office usually issued the patent on Tuesday, and coincidentally, Tuesday fell on the 25th of December. So, when the renewed patent was granted on the 25th of December 1923, the bottle quickly became known as the Christmas bottle. However, in 1928, bottles took over fountains. It was the first time that the beverage in bottles exceeded the amount sold. In fountains, while the patent lasted for 14 years, and it was renewed again in 1937, by 1951, all patents on the shape had expired. In 1955, the company introduced different sizes of bottles, and people could buy from it, from anywhere. Now, the shop also started selling bottles in larger versions, such as 10, 12, and 26 ounces with the traditional one. These bottles were also a part of a broader marketing push to offer family-size options. After this, as the patent expired, the company asked the patent office to recognize the bottle's different shape as a trademark since it was so well known. However, it was very rare for a commercial package to receive trademark status. Over the years, the Coke bottle had many nicknames. The interesting ones include Hobbleskirt, which was inspired by the 1910 fashion trend. It was also known as the Mae West bottle because of the actress's figure's curves. To describe its unique shape, the term contour was used in 1925. Most people simply called it a Coke bottle. The shape of the bottle also changed over time. The original 1915 design was a bit wider than today's modern version of the classic design. When its family-sized bottle was introduced in 1955, The designer adjusted the bottle size while keeping it for family proportions. So, the story of bottling started from $1 and ended up launching thousands of bottles of dreams with multiple distribution channels that helped the beverage to stand out. It's another journey of Coca-Cola to change its presence and give it a proper identification in the form of bottling. Yet it is not easy and comes up with multiple challenges and competitors. But with the right strategy of the Root Glass team, the refreshing drink got its unique identity. Still, as the brand continues to grow, many new questions and problems arise. Now the company was at the margin of global expansion, but the rapid growth was on the risky road. Increasing competition, maintaining a consistent brand image, and adapting to different markets. As more bottles were produced and sold, the stakes were higher than ever. What challenges were waiting for when Coca-Cola tried to grow worldwide? Did it affect its marketing strategy? How would the soft drink maintain its position during the World War?